Happiest of days to all my wildflowers out there. This is Robie Dodson with the Wildflower Property Group, standing in front of my very sexy dual HVAC systems. In today's installment of 52 weeks of home maintenance projects, we are conquering our HVAC system. In Austin, today it's supposed to get to about 107 degrees. There is nothing I care about more right now than this system. I need it to keep working. My kids, I'll feed them later. But today, I need this HVAC working. So, follow along with us today. Daniel's going to give us a really, I'm talking cheap way to maintain your HVAC system. Okay, Daniel, tell us, what needs to be done to my AC to keep it going?
Well, we are checking out this AC system as if we were doing an inspection. We're going to look for the maintenance things on this unit that are indicators that it could do with some servicing. This is an older unit. It is a Carrier brand. It is absolutely working well. We've got good cold air being produced. But when I'm up here looking at it, I can see some signs of some issues, some things that show general wear and tear, some issues that show that we could do with some maintenance to increase the longevity of the system, lower our energy costs, and also have better quality air coming out.
Yeah, I think this is like 16 years old. So.
Yeah, I think it's about a 16-year-old unit if memory serves. We do have some rust in the drain pan down here, which is an indicator that the system has, had a lack of maintenance over time. And to Robbie's right, on the other system over here, we can see that we've got what we call some biogrowth, which is some mold or mildew. No inspector is licensed by the Texas Department of Public Health to actually call it mold, so we usually use the term biogrowth. But that's there from moisture. So the rust and the biogrowth are indicators that these systems should be serviced and cleaned. So even if they're cooling effectively, servicing the systems, especially in the hot part of the year like we're in right now, is going to go a long way to lower your energy costs and increase the longevity of the system.
Okay.
Deferred maintenance is one of the main things we see on home inspections and point out as deficiencies. Proactivity from homeowners goes a really long way to combat these items.
Okay.
It's definitely worth checking your main systems twice a year to ensure proper functionality. You will save money over time, and sometimes that requires spending a little up front to increase that longevity.
Okay. So I know you tell a lot of my clients the value of us hiring someone to come in, but what can we do?
That's a great question. So as a homeowner, you definitely need to be proactive and do the things that you can. Our friend Amber here is going to show us how to pour bleach down AC systems. So when you switch out your air conditioning filters, which you should do about every 6 weeks, depending on the kind, and I'm going to move out of Amber's way here.
Every 6 weeks?
Every 6 weeks for the small, thin filters. Some filters take a little bit longer before they start going bad, but you want to make sure that...
Whoops, are you okay?
I'm fine, I'm sorry.
You okay?
Pour some bleach
That was
down.
awesome.
Pour some bleach down your drain here, and you really
You're pouring it in the drain, that little
Yes, so this is called the secondary drain, and we just need to pour a couple of glugs of bleach down it about every 6 weeks. And what that's going to do, pour one more glug like that, and we should be good. All right. There we go. You don't need much, but what that bleach is going to do is help kill any mildew that's building up in the drain lines, which is an area you cannot see to check for maintenance. But it's very typical in the hot part of the year for this secondary drain to clog. And then that's when you see leaks at the ceiling. That's when you see, stains under units in the ceiling below units that are in the attic like this, because water has either escaped the drain pan or is dripping off of the drain line itself. So
where does the bleach go?
The bleach goes into this drain line and helps to kill any biogrowth that's proliferating in there, which happens in the hot part of the year because this is a cold, wet environment from the system since you're running the air conditioner.
Okay.
So during the summer, it's much more of an issue. In the winter, you will not have to pour bleach down the drain every time you change the filter.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, so you're saying change filters every 6 weeks. But
change filters every 6 weeks.
how often do we do the bleach?
I do the bleach every time I do the filters, and I think Amber probably just poured an ounce or two, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons down that, which is plenty. You don't need to pour a whole bottle. If you're worried about using bleach, you can use white vinegar. Works just as well.
Okay, good. Thanks for keeping my AC going, Amber. Okay, that's super easy.
Now let's step outside and talk about some issues with the exterior units to keep in mind.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, we're here on the outside, Daniel. What can we do?
So guys, there's not as much maintenance that you as a homeowner or landlord can do on the exterior units, but there are some things to check for. Maintenance-wise and efficiency-wise, we don't want any plants within about 18 inches of the units. You can see these units are doing quite well. They've got plenty of space between each other, between the walls, so they can breathe well. Any plants that are right next to the units can kind of hinder their performance.
Okay.
One other thing we always point out, I can see that these units are on this big concrete pad. It's a little lower than we typically like to see. We always recommend to have everything raised about 4 inches off the ground, just so we don't get any corrosion, rusting, anything like that to the bottom of the unit.
Okay. It looks like mine aren't even fully on that. It looks like they're splitting.
Yeah, they're on it. It's just not quite as raised as much as it could be. It's a minor thing, but it is something to consider.
Would a homeowner like myself raise that?
You can. You actually can. You can buy concrete or vinyl pads at a big box home goods stores, and a couple people you can raise it. Now, a lot of people don't want to tackle that themselves, and I get it.
Yeah.
Do a little research. Get your degree from the University of YouTube on how to do it correctly. But proactivity goes a long way. If you can save money and empower yourself to learn some of these things, you don't have to rely on contractors for everything.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, so anything we should do here is 115 degree heat.
Well, some people have asked, is it a good idea to shade units? I don't have a great answer for that because these units are designed for the exterior. I will say that overall maintenance systems and paying attention to your HVAC more than normal is a good idea in this hot part of the year. Typically when you're running your air conditioner nonstop is when it has the potential to go out. So you certainly want to make sure everything is working correctly before it gets really hot, so you don't get stuck with a hot house, or more importantly, the lack of being able to get a contractor out because their schedules are full.
Yeah.
So maintenance can go a long way for saving you money, but it can also ensure that you've got proper functionality in the really crucial times of the year.
Okay. So anything else we should do out here? Kind of clear off debris, probably.
Debris clearing up is a good idea. Having everything raised is great. I'm going to step around this unit and just kind of talk a little bit about this insulation.
Do you ever get worried about snakes?
Being in Texas, snakes they're here. I rarely see them on inspections. One thing I do want to mention is we also want to make sure that our insulation for our coolant lines is intact. There's a little bit of a tear here. It's not the end of the world, but having a good solid insulation across these coolant lines is going to help keep condensation from getting under the units, which can lead to rust, but it's also going to help cool the house faster. We don't want to lose any energy out here at the exterior in the hot part of the day.
So can I just wrap some foil around it?
Well, you could just wrap foil around it, but the ideal situation is to get some insulation. Again, from a big box store, they sell these sliced tubes of insulation for $5 at HEB.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not HEB, at Lowe's or Home Depot.
Probably at HEB.
Maybe even at HEB. Yeah. So those are kind of the outside tips. But be proactive. Do the things that you can do to increase the longevity of the systems, save yourself money, and have better quality air.
I love it. Okay, so to review, for the average homeowner looking at just trying to do their maintenance, pouring bleach in our drain pipe, checking the insulation
and the level of the units.
Okay, looking for rust.
Looking for any rust, up in the drain pans of the air handler, which is typically going to be in the attic in most parts of the Central Texas area.
Okay.
And looking for that bio growth, you know, any signs of mold or mildew. What looks like mold or mildew probably is, and that's an indicator that the system could do with some servicing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say servicing, that means at that point, call in.
Yes, definitely. But be proactive up until that point. If you combat those things ahead of time, they may never show up.
Okay.
Maintenance goes a long way, and sometimes spending a little money on things like filters and bleach and replacing them religiously is going to save you money and longevity. It's going to increase the quality of your air as well.
Okay. And then also changing filters, which we'll talk about
Yes,
in another
we'll
segment.
change filters in another segment.
Okay.